Okay, it's quite nice here, what do you think? Here on the rock. Hello, Joel Willans, Creative Director of Ink Tank Media and creator of Very Finnish Problems. Today is Kalevala Day, and in celebration of that, we're going to look at some fun and interesting facts about Kalevala and its creation. Lönnrot was a physician, he was a botanist, he was a linguist and a poet. The man had his fingers in many, many pies. In January 1833, Lönnrot began his new job as a district health officer in Kainuu. Whilst he was doing this, he decided he would start collecting poetry, and so began his epic mission to create the Kalevala. Throughout his career, Lönnrot made 11 trips in 15 years in the surrounding countryside and further afield to collect the epic poetry that would become the Kalevala. He collected most of his poems from Ingria and Karelia, and there could be thousands of different variants of the same poem, but he rarely wrote down the name of the poet except in special cases. The poetry was often sung on music built on a pentachord, and sometimes the poets were accompanied by a kantele player, which is like this Finnish plucked instrument. So when Elias went to these villages, they'd often line up their best poets, and they'd get sometimes two poets singing verses alternately, or groups of verses, in a sort of like old school rap battle. There'd be a singing match where they'd go head to head and showcase their skills to Elias. This is cool. In 1835, he finally published his first version of the Kalevala. Today it's known as the Old Kalevala. The version that we all know and love was published a bit later in 1849. It includes an incredible 22,795 verses, made into 50 folk stories. So one of the reasons I love Elias Lönnrot is the fact this is a man who wasn't even a writer. He did poetry, but it wasn't his profession. He spent his entire life just going out into the wilds collecting poems and poetry. Thousands and thousands of poets, just for the love of words. So there's some weird and wonderful facts about Finland's national epic, the Kalevala. It's a beautiful piece of work, and I recommend you go out there and try reading some of the poems and poetry that Lönnrot gathered. It's well worth a look. Good luck and enjoy. Hey, Elias Lönnrot. How do you pronounce that? What was it? Learn.